Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is June 12th, and if you guys can't tell, I am not in my studio. I am in Boise City, Oklahoma. Had a nice fun storm chase yesterday, lots of lightning, some cool clouds out there. Going to chase some similar areas today. But anyway, let's check out the weather here in the Pacific Northwest. Looking at the infrared satellite imagery, quite a warm day across the region today. Some thunderstorms even possible across the Cascades and some of the higher terrain of BC, Washington, Oregon, and of course off east of the Cascades as well. But we have something rounding that ridge out there. If you can see it out towards the Aleutian Islands here, this energy here is going to ride over the top of the ridge and bring a sharp trough. It's going to cool us off down here across Pacific Northwest. And we'll take a look at the extended as well. It looks like another big trough on through the extended can be expected. We'll take a look what the models have to say about that. This is looking at the wind and fire concerns. National Weather Service, Pendleton, Oregon. We're going to kick up some strong west winds across the region here. And as you know, you start adding that wind and that feeds those fires out there, and it can cause some extreme fire conditions out there. So there's the fire weather watch out there and the wind advisory for some areas, and I'll show you the wind here and the weather models in a moment. Thunderstorm outlook, National Weather Service Spokane, Monday and Tuesday, brief heavy rain, gusty winds. You guys know the drill out there. Monday and Tuesday issued this morning here by the National Weather Service. This is out for Missoula, Montana here, something similar here as well. Thunderstorms through Tuesday. This is looking at a wider view of things here. You can see Alaska is up here. There's Washington down here. We've got this ridge kind of protecting us today, bringing those warm temperatures. But as I put this into motion, look at that sharp trough quickly just come rounding over the top of that ridge, across South Alaska, and then blast down across BC here. That's what's going to kick up those west winds. We'll take a look at what kind of speeds we can expect. Temporary ridge builds there, then we start to build another trough across the region here and really drops down over the Pacific Northwest. I mean, yesterday afternoon's European kind of bullseyes the Pacific Northwest. Pretty chilly upper level trough would keep us below average here across the region and introduce some precipitation chances as well. We'll take a look at that here in some more detail in a moment. This is the GFS. This is a closer view of things here, but you'll see good agreement with the European on that trough swinging down off to the east here. A little bit of a ridge here, and then we really bring a deep trough across the region as we go on in towards the weekend here. I mean, look at that. What is this, winter time or what? It's like a polar lobe here just dropping down across Pacific Northwest, but it will introduce some precipitation chances with its arrival here. We'll take a look at that here in a moment, of course. And now this is looking at total precipitation. This is yesterday afternoon's run. You can see the thunderstorm activity across some of California, Nevada, some of eastern Oregon, Idaho, Montana here. Even a little bit across the Cascades. Maybe today, can't rule out a thunderstorm there. And go into motion a little bit further here. Then that trough drops down, brings some breeze up to BC, to Alberta. Hopefully can help with those fire-scorched areas out there. And then as we get further into next weekend, you can see the precip really start to get across some of western Washington, western Oregon, some of the Cascades picking up good amounts. And look at places like BC and Alberta really picking up huge amounts of precip potentially with this trough's arrival. This would be looking 10 days out here. And I know a lot of people would welcome this precipitation. It would be much needed here across much of the region. This is looking at wind speed. So I'm going to show you something here. As we scroll ahead, we have a pretty warm day today. Then we start to bring some onshore flow. Notice that little tongue move into the Puget Sound there? And then you can see some westerly flow. Look, it becomes quite strong here as we go on into Tuesday evening coming up there, coming down the Strait of Georgia there. And you can see those west winds just ripping across eastern Washington through the gorge there as well. So that's what's going to contribute to some of that fire danger here. And then we'll go off into extend it a little bit more here. And you can continue to see that onshore flow, probably below average temperatures. And then that X-trough's arrival here, keeping the onshore flow conditions here across the region and potential frontal systems with that next trough's arrival as well. This is looking at 80-meter wind speed here on the NAM 3KM. Put that into motion, and you can see some of those winds coming down the Strait of Juan de Fuca there, east slopes of the Cascades, onshore flow. I mean, look at some of those winds through eastern Washington there as well. And this is looking at the gust peaks here. Look at some 50-mile-per-hour gusts here in those west winds, potential for eastern Washington. Some strong winds down the Strait of Georgia and the Strait of Juan de Fuca there as well. So watch out for that if you're a mariner out there across some of the Puget Sound or the Strait of Juan de Fuca there, or out across some coastal waters there off Vancouver Island. This is looking at the composite reflectivity on the HRRR 3KM. Put that into motion, and you can see a little bit of activity trying to pop up across some of the Washington, Oregon Cascades. Not showing too much there. You can see that thunderstorm activity east of the Cascades, and then that trough kind of brings those thunderstorms across some of BC, eastern Washington, Idaho Panhandle, and this would be going into Tuesday night into Wednesday morning shown there. This is day one. Thunderstorm outlook does include some of the Cascades of Washington and Oregon. This is 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook across the west coast there of North America. And you can see 6 to 10 day there. This is the National Blend of Models. So this is the 07Z run, does include today. You can see a lot, pretty warm temperatures there across the region. Some mid 90s there, maybe up towards 90 for Portland there. Look at Seattle in the low to mid 80s. Nice and warm up through Southwest BC as well. Put that into motion there, and look what happens by Tuesday. A big cool down coming there, probably at least 10 degrees for a lot of the region, except for east of the Cascades. But then you can see by Wednesday, look at the cool down really takes hold across a lot of the area with that strong onshore flow. And we remain generally seasonable here as we go on in through the weekend. But then look at that. 67, that's below average here. Look at Sunday, down into the low 60s for Seattle. Cooling things off here, as you can see with that next trough's arrival. But anyway, yeah, we'll be watching that trough closely here. Looks like it might be a doozy out there in the extended. We'll continue to watch it. Of course, confidence is going to be low, but the confidence is fairly high with the actual trough's arrival in of itself, because the GFS and the European are both showing it. They've been showing it for a couple of days now. So we'll just go ahead and watch this day by day. I'll probably be home tomorrow, so I may not do a briefing in the morning, but I will do a briefing either tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening when I do get home, and then I'll resume my normal briefings as we go on in through Wednesday and on in through the extended. You guys know how it goes. But anyway, yeah, so this will probably be the last storm chase for a while. I may go on another one here at the end of June, which would probably be the last one of the year here, but you know, it's always fun out here. It's just been a little bit of a tornado drought. I've seen officially 4 tornadoes this year. 2 of them are pretty neat looking here, but you know, I'm used to a little bit more success out here across the plains, so it's been a little bit of a down year. But anyway, we'll do this again tomorrow. It may not be till the evening or nighttime hours though, and you know, click like, subscribe, leave those comments. I do not get a chance to reply to them all, but I do read them all, or I do my best anyway. So anyway, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.